We often hear that sports teach us more than just the game itself, right?
Right.
Teamwork, discipline,
Mm,
all that.
absolutely. But what if the really big lessons aren't even the skills, but maybe some simpler truths, like how we handle effort or setbacks, or even just our time?
Okay, yeah, let's dive into that. That really feels like the heart of what we're looking at today. We're digging into Dr. Darren Cannell's book, Coaching Sports to Internet Brats.
Right. And Dr. Cannell, he's got this interesting background, 40 years coaching, sure, but also a long career in education. He even started a big online high school.
So he's seen things change, especially with, the whole internet generation.
Exactly. He has this perspective on how kids have changed, but also on these kind of timeless ideas that he thinks are, well, maybe more important now than ever.
Okay. So our goal here, our mission for this deep dive, is to unpack some of those core simple philosophies from the book. Specifically, we want to talk about earning value, learning from failure, always trying to do better, and using time well.
hmm Think of it like getting the key principles that can really help you succeed. Doesn't matter if it's on a team, in school, your job, or just, getting through the day. We'll look at what the book says and why it actually matters for you.
Great. So let's kick off with what seems like a really core idea for him, the power of earning it. He basically says, look, if you didn't work for it, if you didn't earn it, it just doesn't hold much value for you.
Yeah, the value is tied directly to the sweat, the time, the effort you put in.
And he contrasts that pretty strongly with parts of modern culture.
Yeah.
He's a bit critical of the whole everyone gets a ribbon thing.
Right. He suggests it can kind of lead to entitlement. If kids don't experience actually earning something, they miss out on understanding its real worth, that deep satisfaction.
He uses some clear sports examples, like making the team roster. Okay, that's step one. That gives you the chance to practice.
But getting into the game, playing time, he's adamant you have to earn that. It's about what you do in practice, your effort, your skill improvement. It's not automatic.
You have to earn that right, I think is the quote.
Exactly. And another interesting point he makes is about parents paying fees.
Yeah, what's his take there?
Well, he acknowledges the fees, obviously, but he frames them as paying for the practices, the coaching, the facility use. The games themselves are almost like a bonus, something the players earn through their work.
So paying the fee doesn't buy you influence over playing time.
Not in his philosophy, no.
No.
It doesn't give parents the right to dictate strategy or demand their kid plays. That has to be earned by the player.
He even talks about simple stuff, like players setting up the nets or carrying the gear.
It's not just chores. It's part of that earning it culture. It teaches responsibility, contribution, being part of the team effort.
And you can see how that translates outside sports, can't you?
Mhm.
For you, listening, think about your job or school or any goal. Doesn't it feel better when you know you truly earned it?
Absolutely. He even flips the script on failure, like getting cut from a team. That disappointment, it can actually be a huge motivator.
How so?
Well, a spot that's just given might not mean much long term, but feeling that sting, that can ignite the drive you need to really go out and earn it next time. It hammers home that point. Wishing achieves nothing. Doing does.
That leads perfectly into the next big idea, doesn't it? Learning from failure. He puts it very bluntly. You never learn from success, you learn from failure.
Yeah, and his mantra is you either win or learn. It completely reframes losing.
It really challenges how we usually think about failure, viewing it as essential, not just something bad that happens.
Right. He talks about losing seasons even. Says teams that struggle, that have to figure out why they're losing and work through it, they actually gain more than teams that just cruise undefeated.
Because they never learned how to handle adversity.
Exactly. They never had to dig deep, adapt, overcome. So mistakes in practice, errors in games, they're not failures in the final sense. They're data. They're chances to learn and adjust.
He even uses getting cut as an example again here. That feeling of failure isn't the end, it's a powerful lesson.
Mm-hmm. It reminds me of that Michael Jordan story. Getting cut from the high school team just fueled him. He didn't want that feeling again. He could accept failing, but not accept not trying.
That's a powerful distinction. Failure isn't the stopping point, it's the starting block for the next effort.
Precisely. So for you, how does adopting that win or learn mindset change how you approach challenges? It builds persistence, doesn't it?
Yeah, instead of just feeling bad about a setback, you analyze it. You figure out what went wrong. Every stumble teaches you something for the next attempt.
And if you're learning from failure, what's the next logical step? It's his third philosophy, always striving to do better.
The constant improvement engine.
Yeah, basically. Never settle. You can always improve. It's not about being perfect tomorrow, but just being better than you were yesterday. Continuous progress.
And it's not just about practice time either, is it? He says elite athletes, they weave this into their whole life.
Totally. Their nutrition, sleep, how they train outside of practice, even focusing on schoolwork, it's all geared towards supporting growth and reaching that next level.
As a coach, he expects that constant growth. He wants to see players getting better each practice. He even kind of implies, maybe referencing that Herman Edwards quote.
Right, the "you play to win the game" guy.
Hmm.
But the other idea is, if a coach stops pushing you, stops correcting you, maybe they think you've hit your ceiling.
Oof. That's some tough motivation right there. Keep showing potential or risk being seen as capped out.
It is. And it ties into the idea that if you want better results than others, you can't just do what they do. You need to work harder, yes,
Yeah.
but also smarter, maybe differently.
It's not insanity, like that misquoted Einstein line about doing the same thing.
No, it's the opposite. It's about changing what you do to get different results. It's that mindset of, today I'll do what others want, so tomorrow I can do what others can't.
So the question for you is, are you pushing yourself? Or have you hit a plateau and just accepted it?
The book really hammers home that there's always another level, not just in skills, but in attitude, effort, hustle. The intangibles. This mindset pushes you to constantly seek that next step.
And underlying all of this effort, this learning, this striving, is the fourth philosophy, using time effectively.
The ultimate resource.
Right.
Time just keeps ticking, doesn't it?
Right. And Dr. Cannell asks pretty directly, a week goes by, are you further ahead because you used that time, or did you just let it slip away? You got to be intentional, use it, don't waste it.
And again, that connection. Wishing does not earn you anything, but doing will. Time is where the doing happens.
He treats practice time as incredibly valuable, limited, precious. You don't waste it. Athletes need to show up ready to go mentally and physically.
Yeah, he talks about simple things like shagging balls efficiently during drills. That's not just busy work. It saves minutes, keeps the practice flowing, maximizes everyone's time.
Or forgetting equipment that means lost practice time, and there are consequences because you didn't respect that time.
Definitely. And he gave that great example from his school coaching days. The mandatory study hall before morning practice.
That was smart. Get the schoolwork stress out of the way first.
Exactly. Use that time effectively for academics, which then helps them focus better during practice. It benefited both areas.
And defining what counts as team time practices, meals, games, study hall, and then limiting distractions like phones during those times.
It's about focus, being present, making the most of that shared time to connect and get better together.
So again, for you listening,
Yeah.
how are you actually using your time? Are you investing it towards your goals or just letting it evaporate? The book really connects effective time use to earning value and striving for more.
And when you put all four of these simple ideas together, earning it, learning from failure, always striving, using time effectively, you see, they're not separate things. They're interconnected. They build on each other.
It forms this whole framework, really, not just for coaching volleyball, but for building character, preparing kids for life after sports.
Right. He's saying these simple philosophies are the foundation, and the book notes that those traits we admire in successful people, accountability, resilience, respect, positive attitude.
They often come from sports, right? From learning these very principles.
Precisely. They learn how to earn things, how to bounce back from failure, how to keep pushing, and how to manage their time. Those skills are valuable everywhere.
So, wrapping up this deep dive, we've explored how Dr. Cannell's book highlights these fundamental lessons from sports. You got to earn what you value. You learn most powerfully from failure. You should always be striving. And you absolutely must use your time deliberately.
They seem simple, but they're profound, aren't they? They shape how we approach effort, potential, and just the whole journey of growth.
Yeah. Deep truths hidden in plain sight, maybe.
And that final thought he leaves us with, connecting effort and value. If the time and effort you put in directly determines how much you value the outcome, well, it makes you think, doesn't it?
Definitely. What are you putting your real effort and time into today? What value are you actually creating for yourself and, for others around you?
It's a powerful question to reflect on.
Absolutely. Something to chew on. Applying these simple ideas could really shift things for you. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.